Good evening. I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. A Maryland woman is taken into custody for leaving her child unattended in Hyattsville. Our Katira Jones is standing by with the story.
Hyattsville police say a 5-year-old girl was left alone in a hot car for several hours. Police first received a 911 call about a child inside a car on the 3800 block of Oliver Street. When officers arrived, they found the car doors locked and a window partially down. Police were ultimately able to get the young girl out. Investigation reveals that the mother left the child in the car while she went to visit a nearby home. Now that mom now faces multiple charges, including neglect of a minor, unattended child left confined in a car, and reckless endangerment. Now Hyattsville police want to just remind all parents and caregivers that children should never be left alone in a hot car, especially on dangerously hot days like today. Katira Jones, CTV News.
Thanks, Katira. Well, the Washington metro region is dealing with another day of scorching temperatures, as she mentioned. The National Weather Service has issued a heat warning until 8 p.m. The dangerously hot conditions are expected to hike the heat index to 111. And that's why county health leaders are pleading with residents to stay indoors. Officials say being outside could potentially cause heat-related illnesses like heat exhaustion.
If you're out there, and you are getting symptoms like excessive sweating, it's really your body compensating, trying to cool itself down because of the high heat. If you have symptoms like weakness or fatigue, those are things that you see. If you are feeling dizzy or lightheaded, all of those are symptoms that you see. If you have muscle cramps, if you have headache, nausea, vomiting, all of those are possible depending on where you are on the spectrum.
Meantime, the county executive put out a tweet encouraging residents to stay hydrated and to visit a county-run cooling center if possible. Well, the ongoing heat wave has reportedly caused a few brownouts for one nonprofit organization. Patuxent Riverkeeper Fred Tutman says the electricity has gone out for short spurts, both at his home and office, during some of the recent scorching hot days. One was so bad that a summer camp had to be canceled.
My guess is some of the power outages are from the extensive heat wave and the amount of air conditioning demand and other power consumption needed to keep office buildings and retail establishments and everything else, houses and residences all cool. So last week we actually had a really brutal thunderstorm that knocked power out, knocked trees down and so forth. The office was out of power from, I guess, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon until about 10 o'clock the next day. And so we ended up having to cancel a day of our week-long camp. Because we didn't really have flushing toilets and air conditioning and other things that we need to make sure that people are comfortable and safe and, you know, having a good time.
And Tutman says most of the brownout reductions in electricity have happened during some of the hottest days these last 2 weeks of July. Well, HVAC companies across the region have been busy this summer season making repairs and replacing broken down systems. One of those is Bel Air Engineering in Upper Marlboro. The company says you can extend the life of your system if you take a few simple steps like scheduling routine maintenance and clearing any debris from your unit. If you're planning to go away for a few days,
you never want to turn your system off. If anything, you may want to turn it up. So let's just say a homeowner runs your system at 75 degrees. You may want to turn it up to 80 degrees until you come back, and then you can turn it down, but never turn your system off.
And what's the problem with turning it on?
Pretty much it will allow too much humidity to build up into the house, so the system will be overworking itself because it will be overworking itself, fighting the heat outside, but it's going to be fighting the heat outside and the heat inside and the humidity as well. So if you just keep it at one set temperature, it's just going to, you know, try to cool off properly.
In other news, Bowie City Police are asking for the public's help tonight. They want to know if you have seen this man. He's 69-year-old Johnny Wilson. He's been missing since early yesterday morning. He was last seen in the 1000 block of Danbury Drive. Police say this is a critical missing person case. If you know anything about his whereabouts, you're asked to contact authorities. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Coming up, thinking of more ways to stay cool in the heat. How about Italian ice and smoothies right here in the county? We'll have more in this story in a bit. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Susan Lucci. I never thought about heart disease until I had my own heart event. Please, listen to your heart. Learn more about the American Heart Association at helpheart.org.
Welcome back. Well, with the temps going up, a local entrepreneur aims to help you cool down. Rakila Nelson has owned Kill a Closet Beauty Bar for 5 years, but she has always dreamed of selling the best cold treats in the DMV. 2 weeks ago, she opened Killa Italian Ice and Smoothie and started to turn that dream into a reality.
One day I woke up and I was just thinking about it, and I was excited about doing an Italian ice business. I was a little nervous about it, but then I was just like, I'm going to go with faith. I'm going to try. I did my research, and I was looking for the best Italian ice in the DMV area, so I found it. Need somewhere that the kids can go and get them Italian ice when it's hot outside, something that they can enjoy. You want to have something good in the community, and I feel like this is something good, and it brings good value to the community.
And if you want to escape the heat with a sweet treat, Killa Italian Ice is open 7 days a week at 710 Ritchie Road in Capitol Heights. You can visit the shop's Instagram page on your screen for more information. Well, police say his crime spree spanned from Capitol Heights to Northeast D.C. In his wake, 4 back-to-back carjackings, 1 murder, and the killing of 2 dogs. 22-year-old Dayon Ross has been indicted by a grand jury. He faces 28 counts in all in connection with that July 2nd rampage. 56-year-old Kurt Modeste of La Plata was shot and killed during one of those carjackings. Ross also allegedly shot and killed 2 dogs in another of the carjackings. The suspect was arrested in D.C. following a shootout with police. Senators Chris Van Hollen and Ben Cardin helped a local health center in Silver Springs celebrate its 15th anniversary. Mary Center is a federally qualified health center that serves residents in Montgomery County and Baltimore. Van Hollen and Cardin also stopped by a Montgomery County food pantry to highlight health care access and food insecurity issues.
I want to pull back a moment, if I might, and talk a little bit about how proud we are of the leadership that we had under President Obama and Vice President Biden on the passage of the Affordable Care Act that provided the resources to expand our federally qualified health centers, because we recognize that you can have the highest quality health care in the world. If you don't have access, it doesn't mean anything. And you are providing the access through the expansion geographically of your location, as well as the services that you are providing.
And Mary Center also serves Prince George's residents at its Adelphi location. Well, not all heroes wear capes. Some wear neon vests. 3 Metro workers were honored at a board of directors meeting for their acts of heroism during an emergency. The incident occurred earlier this month at the New Carrollton Metro station. Latasha Bostic, Jose Flores, and Thomas Adams were cleaning the station when someone notified them of a woman on the train about to give birth. The Metro employees called 911 but had to help deliver the baby before paramedics arrived.
Rail Supervisor Wood was quoted as saying, "Their quick action to obtain towels and proper PPE is a true display of their genuine dedication. They provided constant encouragement and emotional support to the customer. As a result, today, the customer has delivered a healthy baby aboard one of WMATA's trains."
And congratulations to those workers who were recognized. Well, a Baltimore native is using her voice to spread mental health awareness around the county. Singer-songwriter Maya Elizabeth, alongside of Essence and Therapy Wellness Center founder Kimberly Renee Mays, will be hosting a mental health concert. Called From Me to You, it will bring hope, healing, and harmony through music. Elizabeth and Mays spoke on what the community can expect.
Definitely look forward to being mesmerized and soothed, calmed by the music. and entertained. A lot of people tend to feel very uplifted and encouraged when they listen to my music.
When you think of mental health, sometimes you can think, oh, it may be a sad, somber space, but it's not. Maya's music is beautiful. Some of the, her along with another artist will be playing, and they will do an amazing job of keeping an upbeat, loving, peaceful environment.
And the mental health concert is tonight at 7 at the Creative Saints Loft in Hyattsville. For more information on tickets, you can search for the concert on Eventbrite. And you're watching CTV News. Coming up, Simon Buggs with your Friday sports page. Stay with us.
What's up, sports fans? And coming up in a bit, a UMD sports coach shocks Terps fans, and Commanders quarterback Jacoby Brissett and head coach Ron Rivera discuss the team's training camp. You don't want to miss it.
If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it.
If you're happy and you know it, smile big and bright.
Because of you. We are happy and we know it. Thank you. Go to lushrunners.org right away.
Meet your pet of the week. This pup's name is Cowboy, and he is a 4-year-old. He's a 4-year-old pet here, and he's looking for his forever home.
If you guys love Akitas, if you guys love overprotective breeds, this will be the dog for you.
How big do you think Cowboy will get?
Cowboy probably will, I would say, a good at least 70, 80 pounds. Probably a little bit more than that. He would fit well in a family household that either has children or a family household that is patient enough to deal with the puppy energy. Because if you can deal with his puppy energy, because he can be a little mouthy at times, but that's expected from puppies. So if you can deal with that, then you have a great dog on your hands.
And if you'd like to adopt Cowboy or any other pet, you can call the number on your screen. Meantime, a reminder for animal lovers, as we experience this summer heat wave, your pets should not be outside longer than 15 minutes to avoid heat exhaustion and burns on their paw pads.
All right, everyone, it's time for your Friday sports page. We'll start with some softball news. UMD softball coach Mark Montgomery has resigned from his position. Montgomery has decided to step away from the team due to personal reasons. He recorded a 98-78 record over his 4 years in Maryland, and this past season he led the Lady Terps to a 38-19 record, which was the best since 2011. And this allowed the Lady Terps to make their first postseason appearance since 2012, where they fell to Iowa in the semifinal round 4-3. Assistant coach Laura Heberling will be the interim head coach. Switching to the NFL, the Washington Commanders continue to prepare for the start of the NFL season. There are a lot of new faces who joined the Commanders during the offseason, such as offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy and quarterback Jacoby Brissett. The NFL veteran says the team has made progress learning the new offense, but they still have a ways to go.
Being around each other and kind of growing up in this offense together, from where we were in OTAs, it's obviously night and day different, but it's so much more that we have to do, and I think we understand that, and going out there each and every day, and EB's challenging our coaches are challenging us to, to learn more and be able to do more, at moment's notice. And I think we're handling that well, but just got to continue to grow and get better at it.
Sticking with the offensive side of the ball, the Commanders retooled their offensive line during the offseason, and head coach Ron Rivera stresses how important communication is in order for this O-line to succeed.
I think they're doing pretty well. The one thing is they got to get used to working with one another. There's a couple of guys that are really working together and starting to develop that. And some of our young guys some of our backup guys are going to get opportunities as well. They have to develop that communications and that rapport with one another to be confident in the things that they need to do.
And that is your Friday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.